Japan is a country that values step-by-step improvement. I really love it here because, yeah, the science is good, food is good. I'm able to do the things that I only see in textbook. Maybe people should be adaptable when they are coming here. They should not have like a very fixed mindset. I don't think like you should lose who you are, and especially becoming an international student, it's good that we all still bring the uniqueness of each of our own country. Recently, there's more and more support for international students. Sometimes seeing too much of the beautiful in Japan, you know, like the aesthetic one, like very beautiful one, easy to live one, and then people are thinking that if I move to Japan, things will always be like that. But in my opinion, it's not like that.
Our guest today came to Japan from Indonesia as a student to pursue advanced studies in life science and technology. She has experience studying, researching, job hunting, and has built a successful career in Japan. Today, she serves as a scientist and project lead at Honda Research Institute. In this conversation, we will explore how she navigated from student life to a successful career, the realities of building a professional future in Japan, and the lessons she has learned from more than a decade of living in Japan. Welcome, Dr. Afifa.
Thank you very much, Keith. I'm very happy to be here today, and I also brought my little friend here, and I would be very happy to discuss about like how my journey from international student until I can become like a researcher right now. So yeah.
Okay, let's jump right into it. What exactly led you to Japan?
Okay, that's quite a long story because basically I started coming to Japan first time when I was still in high school. So I was like 16 years old, and in my family, my dad used to go like into like exchange program for a year during high school, and I was like really want to do something like that, to go to America actually in the beginning. But then like I couldn't get that, and they placed me to like a very short program in Japan. And I was like why not? Like they have Hello Kitty, right? And then I came here and I saw like, oh, everything is like so organized, so clean and everything. I feel they have so much passion on culture and so many things. And I came back again to Japan when I was in the 4th year of bachelor because my university in Indonesia has some MOU with Science Tokyo, that time still Tokyo Tech. I came back for a year, did a research, and my professor just like invited me to come back for master's and PhD. And during that time, I was already like, I really love it here because, yeah, the science is good, food is good, and cute things are everywhere. So, yeah.
How will you describe your academic journey here in Japan?
I think that it's kind of like an adventure, and it's also like a magical adventure in my opinion, because when I was still in bachelor degree, I was like studying biochemistry, and I found out something called enzymes, and I found like, oh, enzyme can live in like organism that is living in a volcano or something like that. Oh, they're so strong. And then when I came to Japan first time, like they did some randomization of what kind of research topic that I will do in the university. And apparently the lab that I'm working on is like working with enzyme. So I was like, oh, finally I'm able to do the things that I only see in textbook, like in real life. So that is like the first magical point that I felt. But going into the research itself, getting it deeper is actually, yeah, it was like a long journey, and it's really a humbling journey for me because I think like if students are like really selected to Japan, maybe we can say that they're quite excellent in their home university. But when you're going to Japan, it's like a whole another level.
With your experience of schooling in Japan for, let's say, 5 years in total, I believe, master's and
Like
PhD.
actually a bit more.
Okay.
Like I have 1 year of exchange in Yonens, like
okay.
4th year, so like 6.5 in total.
6.5 in total. So for students who are out there from Indonesia and other parts of the world listening to us currently and want to study in Japan, what kind of student do you think are more likely to thrive in the education system in Japan?
I feel like although there are a lot of international program, like I believe I was in the international program, and I believe you are too, but Japan is a country that I felt like really still values culture, including the languages. So I feel like a student has to be adaptable. That's number one, and you have to be like humble to be able to like learn everything from beginning again, be open to like new cultures, be open to new languages. Like it's kind of funny when I first came there, they talk about things in Japanese, although we are like in Science Tokyo, like one of the best in Japan, but actually students and maybe also some professors don't speak English as what we can say, like as frequent as. So I was thinking like maybe people should be adaptable when we are coming here. They should not have like a very fixed mindset and being able to adapt.
So that's a very good point, and I just want us to expand on that a little more. So when, let's say I'm a student outside of Japan thinking about coming to Japan to study, can you make it more practical for people? Is it that it means that, all right, you should come with the mindset that I'm coming to a new culture, a new environment, I should be willing to embrace the culture? Or is it like changing from being who you are completely to becoming something else? What does it mean
Oh, I see.
when you say be willing to adapt?
I think so. I think what I said by being willing to adapt is more like the first thing. Like I don't think like you should lose who you are, and especially becoming an international student, it's good that we all still bring the uniqueness of each of our own country.
Great.
But I think it's about like trying to adapting to all of the cultural systems and even all of the laboratory systems, and learning the language is not easy. A little by little, but you can start to communicate with people. So yeah, being open to new things and learning maybe from beginning again.
I think one thing that is very important to me, I believe was important to you and to all of our listeners right now. Whenever you think of going to a country to study, you're not just worried about studying, you're worried about whether there is a career path that is clear for you in that country. Because, like it or not, the essence of going to school is to make impact, but importantly, to live a good life.
True.
Right?
Yep.
Right. So, do you think, in your experience, there is a clear career pathway for students in Japan? And what was it like for you?
Okay. So when I like maybe around 6 months to 1 year before I graduated PhD, it was like I really wanted to be an academia. So I really wanted to enter university either as a postdoc or assistant professor. And I think this point is like as long as you have like publications and some good track records in conferences and others, it is still something that quite attainable because you can do like job hunting there, like using some platforms specialized for what can I say, work in academia, and it's also available in English. So I think that is one thing. But if you are from the beginning, you really want to go to the industry, that's a little bit complicated because the job hunting prospect in Japan is like kind of like quite specific. Like they have like specific time for intake, and then a lot of time you will have to like compete with the Japanese student itself. Some company they have like international submission or something, and but some other type like you just have to have the languages and everything. But it's not impossible, I can say. In my case, I was going to university first and then jump to industry. So I was able to get more experiences on my CV as well as more time to study Japanese.
Okay, so if I'm getting you right, you're saying in as much as your study might not be in Japanese, but learning the language is very important and it makes life easier for you, right? So let's go back to your experience in academia and your experience in the industry.
Yes.
And I heard you talk about job hunting, which is one of the things that is also unique to Japan. Do you think a person who is going into academia stands a better chance of being higher, especially for an international student, than going into the industry? Or maybe for a better way to put it, can you share your experiences with both so that our listeners can learn from that? So those that are intending to go into the industry, those that are intending to go into academia, what can they take away from your story?
I see. Like basically for academia, I think it's very suitable for you if you really inspire to become like a professor. And basically the main language of output in academia is English. So of course it's good that you have some Japanese so you can deal with all of the administration a little bit better and understand things better. And it will give you some more opportunity, I think, if you want to be a tenure track position and you can teach also in Japanese, that will be great. But I think if you want to go to the industry, one of the things that you have to keep in mind is that the Japanese language is kind of important and the job hunting can be quite tough. If I open the card here, like actually I was applying for more than 150 times during my transition. But when I entered academia, it was like only 10 positions I applied, and I got accepted to 2, and I choose. But in the middle, if you change career, actually, it's quite difficult. But I heard recently there's more and more support for international students. Like they have seminar for job hunting only for international students, such thing. In my time, there's not that much, to be honest. So it was kind of like, oh, maybe academia is better for me.
Great, thank you. So there you have it. You have someone who is experienced in job hunting for academic position and also for industry position. That was great sharing. So let's look at your current role at Honda Research Institute as a project lead and also a scientist. Somebody wants to become a researcher in the industry area and they are schooling, what skills you think they need to focus on acquiring the most that will help them in their workspace? So in other words, what I'm asking is, what are those skills that you learned during your time of schooling that have helped you the most on your job?
I think I could say it's more like the ability of learning by doing.
Learning by doing.
I can say this because when I was in academia, my research topic is quite similar when I was a PhD student, so it's kind of like a continuous thing. But when you enter the industry, there are many, many other things that it's not covered by your discipline of science itself. Like I study protein, but like I also have to do like regulation, ethics, and many kind of things that I don't even know what that is. So it's like if you are able to like and to always learn and always don't hesitate like to learn from beginning again and don't hesitate to ask questions. I think that what I learned when I was a student because I was like becoming a senpai, like a senior quite fast. I was like only given 6 months with my senpai and then he graduated and I have to start like teaching other students during master's first year. So it was like I still don't know how to do this, but like I have to teach other students, other international students like next week. So okay, I will learn this by doing this. And that's somehow the thing that I still brought up until now.
Great. So in a nutshell, I think continuous learning.
Yes, continuous learning. Yeah, that's the way to put it.
And
Continuous
also
learning.
being, because that comes with being willing to be vulnerable, right?
That's
because
true.
sometimes it gets intimidating when you're in a particular environment that you have no idea of what you should be doing. I've been there before.
That's true.
But you have to, I believe, be willing to be vulnerable.
That's true.
So that you can learn.
Especially, it's like You imagine like you have studied PhD, you have studied for so long, and then you come into a situation where you like, why I don't know anything? What's the point of what I've studied so far? That's a very vulnerable place that maybe not all people can accept.
Thank you. That's very important. Being a student, also working in academia and working in the industry, what do you see? And also, I learned also you have some connections with university now, so you do very amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think students, international students, especially, are getting wrong that you think is important and they should consider as they do their study or as they job hunt? Like, what is that thing that you think is very important that students are not getting that you can communicate to our listeners?
I think I get within this internet era, like digital era, people are sometimes seeing too much of the beautiful in Japan. You know, like the aesthetic one, like very beautiful and easy to live one. And then people are thinking that if I move to Japan, things will always be like that. But in my opinion, it's not like that entirely. I mean, there will be some adaptation period, and the language barrier is something that maybe you can survive in the international program without Japanese at all, but I think it's still very good that you learn because you will eventually have to be in the community. I mean, like you have to do things outside university as well, especially if you really want to make a career in Japan. I think one of my advantage is that I keep learning Japanese so that I was being given position as a leader in comparatively young age because all other leaders in my company are like 40s and 50s because I can speak Japanese and I can deal with like regulations such thing because I can read and speak. So I mean, yes, Japan is very beautiful. I think you agree about that as
Sure.
well. But there are many like unspoken rules, even inside the lab, in the university, in the workplace. That kind of thing, like I think it's not being brought up so much in social media, and people don't really know that Japan is not 100% just fairy tales. People have to realize that, I think.
Thank you for sharing that. So, looking at you and the amazing things you do, because I follow you on LinkedIn, and I see the things you share, your consistency, and with everything else that you do, what would be your advice to young ladies out there who maybe think pursuing a career as a researcher in Japan and being a lady is impossible? What would be your advice to them? Because part of the things you share on your LinkedIn makes me to understand that you care so much about empowering women.
Woman.
Yes, and you go all out to ensure that opportunities that are within your reach, you are able to share with people, and you, for lack of better word, you gave your life to this, right? So what would be your advice to a young lady out there, whether in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, America, whatever part of the world they are? What would be your advice to them?
Okay. So I think, in my opinion, there is some misconception sometimes that when we think about high career position, high research position, it has to be like a man in the black suit and everything, such kind of thing. But actually, I think women should be able to, what can I say, to stand up for herself also, because in the end, it's not only about men or women. I think the world has been more equal recently, and what people are really seeing is about their competence, regardless of the gender. So even though we're a woman, we can also accumulate it, same competence, same expertise as a man, and if we have that, there is no wall actually. We can still advocate for ourselves and then get a good career. And I don't think you should try to be, what can I say? You can still be yourself. And I think as a leader, I'm more like an empathetic kind of leader. Like I listen about this person concerns and then that person and try to make everything together, which is maybe a little bit different than a normal leadership when all of the leader are making decisions to their subordinates, that kind of thing. And I think that's one of the strength of women. We are more empathetic, and men can also be empathetic, of course, but it's like we have those kind of traits maybe embedded inside us to our womanhood, and that could also be strength if we can use it properly.
Just making sure I don't cross the line.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to your work and the nature of your work. But what does it mean to you to be a part of research, especially within the Japanese corporation that is contributing to global innovation? What does it mean to you, like waking up every morning and going to do this job and knowing that this job is something that is affecting life or in the near future or long future will change everything about life and the way we see life? What?
My feeling,
Yeah.
actually, I'm feeling very thankful and honored. I don't think many people has this kind of opportunities because I was able to propose what I want to do and think about it, like how it could really affect humanities like in 10 or 20 years like that. I feel it's really a great opportunity and I should not miss it. And because like God has given me so much blessing doing this, that's why I'm also doing, what can I say, like content creation and outreach, so that hopefully more and more women and also men can also take this kind of steps.
Great. Thank you. So is there something that you think a person outside of Japan who wants to come to school in Japan should understand about studying in Japan or researching in Japan, working in Japan? Okay, so another way I would say is, if you were to give an advice to someone who wants to come to Japan to study and to also have a career path in Japan in the area of research, what would that advice be?
I think Japan is a country that values, what can I say, step-by-step improvement. That's one of the things that I could see. Like, for example, when I'm in my company right now, at first I lead like smaller project, and then they see, oh, she has some improvement, and then they promote me like to bigger projects. So I think that's the same way you should approach the general life of doing a study and research in Japan. Like in the beginning, maybe everything feels so foreign and you cannot even understand anything, but it's okay. Like just do step by step. In Japanese, we say like kotsu kotsu. Kotsu kotsu yarimasu. Let's do it step by step, and it will accumulate and it will accumulate. And in the beginning, maybe it will feel very hard, and maybe you sometimes maybe feel lose patience about yourself. But don't worry, it's like it will work out little by little.
My last question would be, do you think there's enough support in the work environment, both in academia and in the industry, to help an employee or an international person to grow enough? Do you think there is that support system, and what does it feel like for you?
Yeah. I, of course, could not speak like for the whole thing, maybe based on my experience, but I think there's also some old beliefs about working in Japan is like you work until very night and then you have like those drinking parties and the things that you just work and you cannot leave before your boss leaves, something like that. But I think Japan right now is changing to be much better, and we can see many companies have a more relaxed work environment. They combine like maybe working from home with working from office. They have more flex time, and then for personal development, I think some of companies, including mine, they provide like Japanese language courses for the employees. And then there's also some mental health support for some companies. I don't know for many companies or not, at least in my company, there's such thing. So I think it's getting better, and maybe it's very hard to choose like which company is really suitable for you. But in general, the culture is changing. Like you cannot be forced like to work until midnight anymore. You cannot be forced to drink beer or something in the drinking party. I think that's really changing.
Great. Sorry, I thought that was my last question, but
Oh,
let me make this my
that's
last question
okay.
now. Like, what inspires you? Like, because correct me if I'm wrong. With the kind of passion I see in you, the things you do, and how intentional you are about the things you do, I don't think this was something that happened overnight.
Oh.
So, what can you, if you just look back on your life, what can you attribute that to?
I think my parents.
Okay.
I
Why?
think my father and my mother is also, I think, quite similar to me. They don't really separate like the work identity and personal identity. Don't get me wrong. It's like, can I say, they use like, for example, the framework of thinking they use during working also when they're doing personal stuff. So it's kind of like, what can I say? You and they always have this curiosity that they teach me from very early age. Like my mom will always, like for example, when I was little, we were looking at the rainbows, and she was like, "Oh, the rainbow is very beautiful. It consists of 7 colors, but why do you think it has 7 colors, not 5 or 6, something like?" And when there's a glass of ice water, there's some condensation, and then she was like trying to dig the curiosity of me and saying like, "Oh, why do you think that there's such droplets on the glass?" I think from when I was very little, my family really taught me to become someone that is like always curious about things, always asking things, and maybe that's why I'm becoming a scientist, because science is actually the art of like always asking questions, right?
So, sorry, this is personal. Are your parents academician as well?
My mother is used to be university professor as well.
Oh, okay.
She's a biomedical engineer.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Thank you so much,
You're
Afifa. It
welcome.
was
Lovely.
really good having you here. Thank
And
you for
Marichan.
yes, and Marichan. Yes, Marichan. Thank you for coming as well. Is I hope this will not be the last time you will appear here, and I hope we can continue to have these kind of conversations. And I like what you do. Please continue to do it to inspire
You too. You're
people.
very inspiring always.
I'm learning from you.
You know.
And then, how can people reach out to you if, let's say, maybe to engage with your content, and maybe somebody wants to learn more about what you do, or somebody wants you to mentor them? Like, how can people reach you?
I think basically through social media, I'm active in LinkedIn and Instagram. And I don't know how will you put it, but my LinkedIn is like Afifa Ayu Koesoema. Like maybe you can put it
Yes,
over here.
I'll put it. Yes,
Yes, and you
we'll
can
do
reach
that.
me via there. I'm very active there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much,
You're
Afifa.
welcome. I'm very honored to come here.